Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Mr. Shakespeare again with you on the 25th of April, 2024. I'm joined as usual by psychic medium and remote viewer, Liz Cross. How are we doing today, Liz? I already know the answer because you're not well.
Yeah. I think it's from all the fragrance bombs that I was exposed to in the UK, to be honest with you. I have a gripe. I have to have a bit of a moan here, Mr. Shakespeare.
You've already done this moan if it's going to be about the fragrances.
Yes, but it's not been on video.
I think it has actually. Your subscribers will write in and tell you we've already seen this movie.
Oh my God. I think the fragrance bombs just like poison my lungs. The plugins and the gels and the perfumes. We don't do that here in the States.
Where
Like,
did you find all these things? Because I don't come across any of that. So where
in
did you
your
find
bloody sockets. That's where.
in the where? Sorry.
In the sockets.
No, I mean where were you that had all these things plugged in?
Everywhere I went to, there was plugins and sprays and air fresheners and the thing was you'd have one fragrance in one corner of a very small room and another fragrance in another corner of a very small room. I thought I
Are
was
you
going
talking about people's houses though, where they live? Because I mean,
houses, stores, shops, loos.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I made the fatal mistake of going to John Lewis in Brent Cross, right? Because I was looking for a duvet cover. And I had to walk by the awful, God, it's like a nuclear bomb, the perfume counter with all these ladies just
Well, that's
spray.
the same everywhere. You go to Bloomingdale's, you go to any of the big stores, they all do that. They're all trying to.
No, we don't do perfume. Look, where I live in the States, we don't do perfume. We open a window, right? If you don't like the smell in your home, you open the window. That stuff is like inhaling poison. It's so bad. And now I'm paying the price of it. I tell you, it was everywhere, absolutely everywhere. You couldn't get away from it. And then when my mother-in-law and my two nieces got in the car with me because I was driving, I mean, the body sprays, and they all three had very different fragrances on. I thought I was going to die. Honestly, I think it's caused this chest infection. Anyway, enough about that. UK, I'm surprised your government hasn't banned it because I'm sure there's going to be like horrendous statistics on lung cancer in the future, and the NHS can't cope with it. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. The mayor election.
Normal service will be resumed after these messages.
God, just you
Right,
need
let's do the
mask.
we've got the London mayoral election on the 2nd of May. There are a bunch of candidates, most of which haven't got a hope in hell's chance of getting elected. We'll start. We're going to skip over a few of them because there's just no point. We'll start with this one, Femi Amin. I have no idea who she is, but she represents the Animal Welfare Party.
Okay.
That's right.
In London, because
London,
there's so
that's
many
a huge
animals.
thing, isn't it? Yeah, not.
Because there's so many pets in London in those pokey little flat chairs. Yes. Okay.
And they haven't got a voice, and they need Femi to speak for them. Good. Okay. I'll tell you what. I'm not really interested in what these people are on about. I only really care who wins. There's somebody I definitely don't want to win, and that's who most people do not like because of what he is doing. But
he's not going to win.
Right. Okay. Well, let's go out till the 4th of May, please. Put her out to the 4th of May.
Okay, Femi. Okay. So May the 4th, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. What would you like to know?
Did she win?
No,
Did she come in the top 3?
no.
Okay, she's a loser. Let's move on.
Where's
Make sure.
Captain Bin Man?
I really didn't want to do this, but you wanted me to do this. So this is Count Binface. Jesus Christ, why am I doing this? He apparently came 9th last time out of 8, I think. I don't know. Okay, let's grab him, put him out to the same date, 4th of May. Did he win? Did he come in the top 3?
I don't need to move him out. No.
No, I didn't think so. I thought that was a waste of time. Right. Rob Blackie now. He's a sorry?
We don't have candidates like that in
No.
the
I
USA.
know, they make it very difficult. It's very difficult in America to have anything other than Republican. They try and get rid of all the independents. I've noticed that. You either vote one side of the uniparty or the other. Right, moving on. Rob Blackie, liberal Democrat. He's a digital marketer who advises something or other. Okay, put him out to the 4th of 4th of May.
May.
Yeah.
Okay. 4th of May, Rob Blackie. So May 4th, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. He does not win.
Did he come in the top 3?
Yes.
Okay. So Blackie's in the top 3. All right. The next one on the list here running down is Natalie Campbell. She's an independent. She is the co-CEO of a drinks company and Chancellor of Westminster Uni. And she's running as an independent. Did she put her out to the 4th of May, please?
Okay, so May 4th, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Did she win?
Did you win the London mayoral election? Did you win? No, but she doesn't feel bad about it. She feels like an internal victory, like I did run. So she's achieved whatever mission she was doing.
Fine. Did she come in the top 3?
Did you come in the top 3? No.
Okay. Okay, moving on now. We've got Howard Cox. He's from the Reform Party in the UK. He's what's he, founder of the Fair Fuel UK campaign. Okay. Put him out till the 4th of May, please.
Okay, so May 4th, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Did he win?
No.
Did he come in the top 3?
No.
Okay. Right, now we've got Amy Gallagher, Social Democratic Party. She's an NHS nurse, psychotherapist. Amy Gallagher is the Social Democratic Party's London's mayoral candidate. Right, could you grab her, put her out to the 4th of May, please?
Okay, so let's see, Amy Gallagher, May 4th, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Did she win?
No.
Did she come in the top 3?
4th. She's
came
possibly
4th.
number 4.
Amy came 4th, did she? Okay. Incredible. All right. Dear. This is Zoe Garbett, who is a councillor for Dalston and Hackney. They are boroughs in East London.
Okay.
Pardon?
I said, oh, she's a counselor for Dalston and Hackney. That's not an easy area to be a counselor of. There's a lot of social problems in those areas.
Right. Anyway, she's been announced as the Green Party's candidate. So did Zoe win? Put her out to the 4th of May, please.
No, she did not win.
Did she come in the top 3?
No.
Okey-doke. Right, now we've got Taron Galuti. He's an independent. Apparently, he's an investment banker who's lived in London for the past 20 years, and he's running as an independent candidate. Let's grab Taran and put him out to May 4th, please. Galati, not Galuti. Guluta.
Well, I'm not sure.
Anyway, we'll call him Taran, shall we?
Okay, Taryn. May 4th, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Did you win the London election for mayor? No.
You come in the top 3?
No.
Okay. Okay, now we've got Susan Hall. She's from the Conservative Party. She has selected. Okay, right. So she is a member of the London Assembly already. Let's see. Did she win? Put her out to 4th of May, please.
May 4th, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Did you win the London election? I feel it's her.
Okay. You Duke.
I do.
All right. Well, we don't need to know if she'd come in the top 3 then. She did. So this is the incumbent mayor. This guy, he's been there 2 terms, and in my personal thoughts and opinion, he is absolutely ruined London with his policies of everything. I mean, emission zones and all the stuff that he's done. He's doing it as an agenda. Let's put him out till 4th of May, please.
Okay, so May 4th, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
We're going to ask the question, did he win?
No, but he does come in the top 3.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, that's not surprising. Okay. I don't know if there's any others. Okay. Well, let's get this one anyway. This is Andreas Milchai. He's an independent. He's a health and fitness entrepreneur and a gym owner, and he is running as an independent candidate. Let's put him out till the 4th of May, please. And same questions. Did he win?
No.
Did he come in the top 3?
No.
Right. Ha! Oh, Brian Rose. Ha!
You know him?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah.
Well, who is
he? He's well. He used to be a banker. He's American, actually.
Well, he's got my vote. No, I'm teasing.
He's an American, but he's lived in London for years. He's made London his home, and he founded something called the London Reel, which is now turned into a party. But look at it. He's been doing interviews and podcasts, and he'd be a bit like Rogan, that kind of thing, but not as high profile and not as perhaps controversial. But he does London Real. He's interviewed a lot of people. He's pretty good actually. I didn't know he'd turned into a party. But anyway, let's ask him. Put him out to the 4th of May, please.
Okay, so 4th of May 4th, 20. He's quite eccentric. 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Did he win?
No.
Did he come in the top 3?
No.
Okay. Let's do this guy. I don't know who he is. Nick Scanlon, Britain First. Nick Scanlon is Britain First candidate. I have no idea what Britain First is.
I don't either. I've never heard of this.
No. Okay, put him out to the 4th of May, please.
Okay.
Did he win?
No.
And did he come in the top 3?
No.
Okay, that looks like it. Okay, well, it looks like Susan Hall. Now, it's interesting because the polls are skewed because they don't want her to win. They want the current incumbent to win. So, they're trying to skew the polls to say that Sadiq Khan is much more popular. He's absolutely hated in London by just about everybody because of what he's done. And they're skewing it to try and say that, everybody loves him. And no, they don't, actually. They might have done for the first term, but after the second term, they're sick to the back teeth of him.
Well, I
Absolutely
mean,
sick.
I got a text from one of my friends yesterday or the day before that they got a 200 something pound fine because they were in London. Now, they weren't in the congestion charging zone, but
No, but
they
they
were
were in the
in
ULEZ zone.
the
Oh,
ULEZ zone. And, if they could afford to buy a new car, they would buy a new car. Their car is 10 years old and they can't afford to buy a new car. Yet
mm.
they had to do some work in London, and they popped by, and I saw them quickly, briefly, like only for a few minutes, because they were freaking out that they were going to get a parking ticket and they were going to get this and they were going to get that. But they shouldn't have worried about that, because little did they know at the time they already got issued a fine for 200 something pounds because they can't afford a brand new car.
Well, the way
It's
that ULEZ works is that it's called the ultra low emission zones, and basically you have to be, I think, Euro 6 compliant. Um, so the idea is to get all the older cars off the road. The older cars generally are driven by people who can't afford new cars, and therefore they're trying to push those people off the road first. You can pay if you I think you can prepay or pay by the following evening. So you can drive in there. You just pay the congestion charge, which I think is about £12–15 a day. Plus, you pay the ULEZ fine as well. So it could cost you £30 a day. If you don't pay any of these, that's when the fines, and they don't want you to pay. They want, because they immediately put you in default. And this is one of the things that, Khan has gone round and making everybody, very against him so much. There's a massive campaign in London at the moment. They're calling it street justice. I mean, and we're not advocating breaking the law, but I can tell you there's lots of it's on many YouTube channels, many Telegram channels. People are going around cutting the ULEZ cameras down.
mm.
Because this is the first step towards road charging by the mile. That's what they want. So hopefully,
And did we get that in the probe? Now, I had no idea about that.
mm,
And I pulled that information out in a probe that we did last week.
yeah,
That they will start charging by the mile. You will have to have a subscription, a monthly subscription, to be
yeah,
outside of that 15-minute window or that 15-minute area. Did I not say that? Okay,
yeah,
you
yeah.
just confirmed. That's a hit.
Oh yeah, this is I mean, ULEZ is the start, and then road charging by the mile is the next thing. I mean, they can't just bring in the other thing. There isn't enough camera tracking and everything to do, full camera charging by the mile at the moment. So they're doing it this way. Yeah. Right. Okay. Good. That's all we have. All we need on that one. Thanks, Liz.
Well, this is based upon quantum probabilities of where we are today, the most likely outcome. It can change, but this is looking as if it's most probable right now. I just feel Londoners are broke. The rents have gone up, the council tax has gone up. People have to work. I know certainly when we worked for the police, I mean, luckily I was at one of the outer line, greater London stations, but my husband was for a long period of time at a station in central London. And, which is now covered by the congestion charge. And when you work these crazy shifts and you don't have 24-hour transport, how are you expected to get to work? So a lot of them rode motorcycles and all that. Now, are the motorcycles exempt still from the congestion charge?
I'm not sure. I think they are.
Okay.
I think I'm not sure actually.
But because every police officer then had to have a motorcycle, there was no parking for the motorcycles anymore because there were so many of them. I mean, you're talking about 300, 400, 500 officers out of one station in London, right? So So imagine the parking chaos. It's all well and good trying to put these policies in place, but if you don't have the infrastructure to support the system, people are broke. They can't afford 12 or 15 quid a day, congestion charge, ULEZ charges, having to buy a new car. Their mortgage rates have already gone up, their council tax, their bills, everything's gone up except the wages. So I don't know what he was thinking when he did this. I really don't. Well,
Well,
there
he
you
didn't think it. He's put in there to run an agenda. He's an order taker, not an order maker. So he's running basically the globalist World Economic Forum, that kind of thing. Get everybody out of their cars, do the whole thing. So he's part of that. And
okay.
no
Well, now
doubt
you've said that. Put him on the screen because I gotta probe him. Now you've said that, we have to ask. Okay, so let's ask him this question. I have him here. He is like stone. Okay, it's his
he's
way
what?
or the
Sorry.
highway. He's like stone. There's no compromise with him at all.
No.
Okay. All right. That's my first impression as I connect to him. How do you think the campaign is going for the mayoral elections? It's a disaster. So, in his own personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions, I think he already knows he's finished. Why are
Yeah.
you still running? Because they told me to run. Who told you to run? The Labor Party. So the Labor Party want him to run. Do you want to run? Not necessarily. He knows he's going to lose, but they don't have another candidate to put forward to take his place.
No. Well, that makes sense. There's no secession because he's been their man for 2 terms. So
Okay, so was the ULEZ structure your idea? No, this is all coming from the Labor Party. So you're right. You're right. He's an order taker, not an order maker. He's taking orders from the Labor Party to generate income, to get people off the road, and he is uh, putting those policies in place. I mean, they must be making a fortune off of people with this ULEZ
well, they are making a fortune, but they're obviously they're blowing a lot of money as well because it's all done through TfL Transport for London, and which basically subsidises the buses and the tubes and everything else, which just lose money all the time. So a lot of
right.
it is siphoned off to that. Who knows where the rest of the money goes?
So my question is this: if everybody is forced into an electric vehicle, right? Which I can kind of understand. The pollution in London was getting really, really bad. The time I was there 5 or 6 years ago, we all noticed the pollution. Like you couldn't breathe. It was pretty bad. I noticed there definitely was a change
Yeah, but
this
I
time
mean, the
around.
modern car engines now, whether they're petrol, gasoline, or diesel, I mean, the emissions are compared to years ago. Um, they're cleaned up amazing. I mean, they have to the detriment of the engines because everything that's been done to cars has been done for emission purposes and vehicles. It's all down to emissions, you know. But yes, they have the levels of pollution that comes out of a modern car is a fraction of what it was, 20 years ago.
Well, but even 5 or 6 years ago, the pollution in London was awful. It really was. So they did need to do something. And I did notice a difference. The noise pollution is still very bad, and I'm very sensitive to noise pollution, especially when I'm trying to do psychic work. But hey ho, I was only there for a couple of days. Now, the thing that gets me is this: the UK has such high tax rates on petrol, right?
Yeah.
If everybody goes over to a diesel, I'm sorry, not diesel, scratch that. If everybody goes over to an electric vehicle, how are they going to recoup the money that they've lost in the petrol taxes? Because your petrol taxes are disgusting.
Yeah, but the electric vehicle is not designed to do that, in my opinion. The electric vehicle is designed as a throwaway product, just like your mobile phone. How do I know that? Well, because the replacement cost of the batteries are making the vehicles uneconomical to repair. Most batteries have what they call a shelf life of 8 years maximum, and after that they're scrap. These batteries cost anything from 10 to 50, 60,000 pounds. So your car is scrap. So they're looking at the electric car is the avenue to get you out of vehicles. Yeah, that's what they want. Electric cars can be controlled, can be switched off, can have all sorts of things. Whereas if you drive a gasoline or a diesel car, you're carrying your own fuel tank with you, if you see what I mean. The infrastructure is already there. One of the problems at the moment with the infrastructure of charging is there are nowhere near enough charging points. In certain situations, electric cars can make a lot of sense, mainly if you have your own home charger and and you can plug it into your own charger, and you only go, you never really go out of range of that. So if your car's got 200 miles, you go 100 miles one way and come back another 100 miles. They can make sense, and they are definitely at the moment cheaper to run. The problem is they have zero resale value. The market has fallen out. The bottom's fallen out of the market, for electric vehicles in the UK. Most electric vehicles were bought with subsidies from government subsidies because they're trying to get people into them. Most of them have been bought by companies on 3-year leases, and at the end they just hand them back, and then the leasing companies are stuck with the problem. If you look at the auction figures, which I do sometimes, and there's some people on Twitter X who have been tracking all of this. The resale values are, they're right on the floor. You can lose 60, 70, 80%, in 2 years of your vehicle's price. And the problem is there's a backlash against them now because there's a lot of people who don't like the government interfering and telling you should drive electric cars. Recently, our wonderful Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, they're not allowing new diesel and petrols to be sold after 2030, even though the rest of Europe is 2035, and Sunak has gone back on that and it's made it 2035. So we've got 9 years, before you can't. So they say at the moment. Now whether that'll happen, we did a long-term probe out, and I think it came out that hybrids in the end, electric cars are not they're not going to be the be all and end all. Our grid network in the UK cannot take the charging, I mean, it's ridiculous. It just can't do it. The infrastructure is not there. And then, of course, you have all these people with range anxiety. And I mean, there's been 2 examples recently that hit the Twitter rounds. There was 2 Renault Zoes, actually. I think one went in for having a fan replaced. She was quoted 7 grand for a fan. Another thing, I can't remember what it was, but the quote was 11 grand. The car's not even worth that. I mean, the parts are astronomical. So most people are not buying into it. They're voting with their pocket. So, and yet in certain instances, the electric car can be a good thing. It can actually be a very useful thing. I don't know.
Yeah, but so are you saying that the purchase of an electric vehicle and the fact that they don't last and you have to keep repurchasing, and to the point where I guess people just give up owning a car? I don't know.
Well, that's the point. I think that's the point of the electric car. They want everybody into electric cars so they can manage you out of vehicles. It's a lot easier to control electric cars because we're all, they just, you can you cut off access to charging. Your car's useless. Most people can't store electricity. Most people don't have the ability to store electricity the way they could store, say, petrol or diesel. You could have 1,000 litre or 1,000 gallon tank of fuel. you can't have 1,000 gallon. Everything is in kilowatt hours, so you turn it into kilowatt hours. And if you turn all the electricity that you would need, to run a vehicle for a year, where are you going to store that? You're relying on them to provide you with the electricity. That's what they want. They want, they don't want any form of you relying on yourself. It's like everything. They want you to rely on the state.
Hmm.
And that's just Marxist communist policy all the way through, isn't it?
Well, here we go with the hate comments on the YouTube videos. Oh well.
Oh,
Um,
well, it's true.
my thing is this. My thing is this. In London, there's hardly any parking anywhere, right? So,
Well,
and
that's
most,
all. That's also deliberate, because if you've ever played musical chairs as a kid, you know that the music stops and they take another chair away. Well, the music stops in London, they take another parking space away. I mean, I remember I worked in London, many years, and it was never a problem to park. It was never a problem to drive up there. There was never an issue. Now it's an absolute freaking nightmare going in there. They've made it so unfriendly, and yet they need, people need to do that. Not everybody's going to get on a bus, because the buses don't go where you want them, if they go at all. This guy here has single-handedly, through his policies, through Labour, has single-handedly ruined London over the last 8 years. It's been going downhill, but this guy just really pushed it,
well,
and it's not just him, it's his policies. I get that, but he's the head of the snake, if you like. He's the
right.
figurehead. He's
I
where all the bile and the hatred and everything, and there's a lot of people really don't like him, because they hold him responsible for everything,
they
because he's
do.
the man. Do I? No, because I know the bigger picture. It's not just him. I know
No,
there are
no,
people.
no. I said they do, and I
Oh,
didn't hear
sorry.
one person say that they liked Khan when I was there. Like everybody was really like foaming at the mouth about Khan.
Exactly.
Everybody,
Yeah.
everybody. But my thing is this, most people that live in London do not have parking right at their doorstep, right? You have to park, maybe a few streets away in some cases, and walk to where you live. Unless your flat has now, somehow put in a car park, or maybe you're in one of the new builds that has a car park underneath the building. But all of the, flat conversions, house conversions, a lot of those people, they don't have a driveway. So
No.
how are you supposed to charge the car if you can't even park near to your home? And
Well, that's the other part. That's the other part of it. So the plan is that you would use the public charging networks. Now, the problem is that the public charging networks are not fully built out. Secondly, the cost. I mean, they were promised that, they would be the average cost and everything. So I've been hearing not rumors. I've seen on YouTube people who are doing videos of this. You can get, electricity if you have a home charge meter. Let's say you pay 30 pence per kilowatt hour. Well, maybe on the overnight tariff, if you've got a dual tariff because of electric, you might get it for 15, 18 pence. All right. You go to a public charging network, some of these public charges, they're anything up to £1 a kilowatt hour. So, it's ridiculous amounts of money that you have to pay, and some people are actually working it out. It's actually cheaper now to buy small economical cars that run on either gasoline, gas, or diesel, because they're cheaper. And also you've got the same problem, like you say, if you've got your own house, your own driveway, and your own charger, which you can get, you have to have it wired in properly, but most home chargers do 7.2 kilowatt hours. I think that's the highest you can have at home without going on to three-phase. So if you have one of those, all right, and you've got a dual tariff meter, you've got your own cheaper overnight rate or whatever, then yes, it can make perfect sense to have an electric car. And a small electric car can whiz you around free of charge. There's no ULEZ. You still pay congestion charge, but there's no ULEZ. They're all free. And in the immediate future, yes, they make perfect sense. so long as you can charge at home, and you can always charge at home, because the minute you start going to the public charging networks, it's a problem. Now, what about all these house conversions and flat conversions that
Yeah.
don't have parking? You know, well, what are they going to do? Trail these big wires out over the sidewalk?
No, because they'll get fined for that. You
Yeah,
cannot
no,
have
you can't. It's just, and it's madness.
pavement.
You've only got to have somebody trip over and hurt themselves, and there's a lawsuit going. I mean, it's none of this has been thought through without, as usual. They've just rushed into it because of all the climate change. Don't get me going about that. You know what I think about that.
Oh God, we'll have to pause the video. Oh dear. No, but okay. Well, it looks like go put her on the screen again. Let's see if she's planning to reverse all these policies. So I'm going to move her out again to May 4th, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Are you now the mayor of London? When does she actually take over?
I
Do they?
don't know. I don't think it's the same day or the next day. I
No,
don't know actually.
I
Well,
don't think so.
put her out
She just
4
told
months
me
or
no.
something. She must be mayor by then.
Okay. So let's go September the 1st, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Are you now yes, okay. Have you reversed the ULEZ? No. Are you planning to reverse the ULEZ? No.
Okay, and you know why that could be the case? Because it's a drug, isn't it? They've got all this free money coming in, you know, and how do you stop it? How do you suddenly say, I don't want this money coming in? So,
Are you planning to have time limits on the ULEZ? No. The ULEZ is here to stay. Okay, this is very alarming. This is disturbing.
well, it's same boss, new boss, same as the old boss, uni party, same.
Wow.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, you get Khan is the figure of hatred, so you draw all the people away from Khan. Khan gets dumped, sidelined. She comes in. She's obviously different to Khan. She's a conservative. He's Labour, and they carry on with the same party and the same policies.
Oh my God.
That's exactly what they do. That's what they do. These are two heads of the same snake. So
So
everybody thinks that she's conservative and she's going to do the right thing, and she's going to do nothing.
yeah, but that's her in the future. That's her in the future. If I move her today and I ask her today, Susan, how are you doing? I'm great. And she's very confident that she's going to win this election as I tune in her today. Okay.
Yeah.
To her today. Are you planning to reverse the ULEZ? No. But are you telling people you're going to reverse the ULEZ? And you know what she's just said to me? She says, that's what people want to hear. And are you giving them that information? She says, I do it, but it's sprinkled around as if it's a very likely possibility. But
Yeah.
she has absolutely zero intention of reversing the ULEZ. Wow.
Okay. Why is she being told to not reverse the ULEZ?
Are you being told to not reverse it? It's in the best interest of London to keep the ULEZ in, is what she just said to me.
Does she realise this will lead to charging by the mile, road charging by the mile?
Do you realize this will lead to road charging? That's what they want.
There you go. Bingo. Thought so. Knew it. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Well, keep bringing my self back to that old song by The Who, won't get fooled again. New boss, same as the old boss. It's exactly. I mean, it's uniparty stuff. These guys have an agenda. When the person is hated so much, he then, can't be the front person anymore. So they dump him or her out and they get somebody else in. Look what
Oh
they're
my
doing in
God.
America. Look what they're doing in Canada. Look what they're doing everywhere. They do it. It's the same.
How
So we
depressed.
all think we're going to vote Susan. Well, not me, because I'm not in London, so I can't vote. But I mean, we all think we're going to vote Susan Hall in and she's going to be the savior. And she's not. She's just going to do, exactly the same. And when anybody points it out to her, she will probably turn around and say, well, I never actually said I was going to get rid of it. You know, I sort of fluffed around it, and there probably will not be any actual attributable quotes to her saying that she's going to get rid of it, you know. So
Well, our friends in London, I'm sorry to say, but you're totally screwed. I'm sorry about that. I was hoping for a better outcome, but it doesn't look like the election is going to make much of a difference at all.
no, no.
Wow.
Well, if voting mattered, you wouldn't be allowed to do it. Who said that?
You're so funny.
No,
All
it's
right.
true. Somebody was it it was somebody like Voltaire or somebody said that if voting mattered, you wouldn't be allowed to do it.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Oh, well, we'll
But
stop
it's
this.
true.
I know it's true. I know. Oh my God, let's stop it here. That's hilarious.